There's a ball of fire like 30, 40 feet high. I've never seen anything like it.
This thing was up in the air. I know it sounds like I'm crazy, but the car was airborne.
And again, the FBI always treats any kind of explosion initially with the assumption that it was a terrorist event.
The Buffalo Police are working with other local law enforcement agencies, state and federal law enforcement agencies.
At this time, there is no indication of a terrorist attack.
Tragedy at the U.S.-Canada border today on the day before Thanksgiving. A fatal incident involving a massive ripple effect on our area.
We continue to follow breaking news tonight
with breaking news.
as an explosion on the Rainbow Bridge had Western New York on high alert. Good evening, I'm Mary Alice Demler.
And hello again, I'm Scott Levin. 2 on Your Side has crews out on the scene tonight working to learn as much as we can about this late-breaking situation today. Right now, our Andy Payton is joining us live. And Andy, what are you hearing right now?
Well, Scott and Mary Alice, we were just briefed about 30 minutes ago, and when we were, the governor stressing to us that this was not a terrorist-related incident that occurred behind us here. She is confirming that the 2 individuals that were inside the vehicle are dead. The governor telling us that this all started at about 11:27 a.m. this morning, and that it was a vehicle traveling at an incredibly high rate speed, crashed into the border protection booth, and that the booth and the car immediately exploded and went up in flames. The governor also said that there was a border agent inside the booth. They said that they did not sustain any life-threatening injuries. They were taken to a hospital and they are in okay condition now. But the governor's saying that the video that she saw really was unlike anything that she's ever seen before. She said she will release this shortly, but here's what she had to say to this. Take a listen.
The car and the booth immediately exploded, burst into flames. I saw the video of an airborne vehicle that was absolutely surreal. You actually had to look at it and say, was this generated by AI? Because it was so surreal to see how high in the air this vehicle went, and then the crash and the explosion and the fire.
And said that at this time there was no motive or even reasoning on why this vehicle was traveling at such a high speed. Back out here live now, we're told that this investigation is obviously currently ongoing, and they're going to continue to provide updates for us as they learn more over the next couple of days. And of course, we're going to provide those updates for you as well tonight at 11. But for now, live and on your side in Niagara Falls, Andy Payton, Channel 2 News.
Andy, thank you. And now we want to bring in our Ron Plants, who has been out since noon today in the Falls gathering details.
That's right. Ron, what do you have for us at this hour?
Well, Scott and Mary Alice, just as police presence here with the Rainbow Bridge closed off with this approach from Niagara Street. You heard the governor, and Andy was talking about her description of what she saw actually in that video. Well, we actually spoke to some eyewitnesses here, including one individual called Ricky Wilson. He says he's a tour guide here in Niagara Falls, and he gave a really dramatic, vivid description of what he saw this morning. Here is what he had to say in regards to this situation.
So we were walking up the road and we seen this car coming down towards the border, and he was flying over 100 miles an hour. There was a car in front of him. He swerved out, went in front of the car, hit the fence, went flying up into the air. I think there was a elevation part. He went up into the air, and we just seen the fireball, and that's all we could see. It was just covered in smoke everywhere.
So the car was coming from the U.S. into Canada, towards Canada?
Yes, it was going towards Canada, yes. It was just a fireball and smoke everywhere. We heard a big bang. Yeah.
Real loud bang, and then you saw this car and the explosion.
Yeah, and I said there's no way that guy's going to stop. There's no way he can stop. He's just going too fast.
You couldn't tell if it had what kind of license plates on it? Or
no, we couldn't, no.
Well, how would you describe the car?
It looked like a Chrysler 300, but somebody told me it was a Bentley. But there's similar cars in that, so yeah.
Okay.
And he was swerving as he was going down this road here, fishtailing, because he was going so fast.
Were there any police cars following him?
No, I didn't see not one, no. And we waited, and we actually walked back to the border, and then we were there about maybe 10 minutes, and the police all started to come.
I just wanted to clarify that that was actually the first eyewitness that we spoke to today, actually a man visiting here with his wife from Kitchener, Ontario. There was another gentleman named Ricky Wilson that we also spoke to, who spoke about the also seeing this vehicle. He said it was surreal, as it just even kind of went airborne, and it was kind of inverted or turned as it slammed into that structure right near the entrance here and where those inspection booths are for the Rainbow Bridge here. Also, just we'll pass this along. Some people were also a bit stranded, if you will, this evening. We ran into 3 college students who are from France, and they're from New York City. They're on a road trip. They were visiting here in the Falls. Their car is actually stuck in a parking lot right near the Rainbow Bridge there, and they have some pretty dramatic video we'll be sharing with you this evening of what they saw and encountered as well. So again, that is the situation here. We're right at 3rd and Niagara in Niagara Falls. And again, the investigation, as everybody's saying, is continuing to make sure they know exactly what happened here. But as everybody is stressing, this was not believed in any way to be a terrorist attack at all. So we'll turn it back into you, into the studio right now.
All right, Ron Plants reporting for us tonight. Ron, thank you very much. We appreciate that. Are we going to go to Dave, or are we going to traffic now?
I think Dave.
Let's go to Dave. Hello, David. What can you tell us?
Hi there, Scott. We're here near the Peace Bridge, the border crossing between Fort Erie and Buffalo, which opened about a little over an hour ago after being closed most of the afternoon. As you can see, the traffic is beginning to flow here. Again, it's been open for an hour or so. Closed most of the afternoon after that incident on the Rainbow Bridge. Now, this couldn't have happened at a more inopportune time for a lot of folks, right? They may have been shopping. It was a busy travel day before Thanksgiving. The bridges were expected to be busy today, and then there was this interruption. We also understand that the Lewiston-Queenston Bridge has been cleared, but we're not sure if it's open yet. And the Rainbow Bridge itself, which is the only other border crossing open to everyone. Remember, the Whirlpool Bridge is just for those who have clearance passes. The Rainbow Bridge probably going to be stopped a while, but you can understand a lot of people's apprehension when after this incident occurred, they immediately closed the other border crossings and started sniffing people's cars with dogs at the airport. That led to a lot of speculation. But as we've heard, and as we've been reporting, it appears to have been a terrible accident of some sort, and the Peace Bridge is now reopened. Reporting live from Buffalo, on your side, Dave McKinley, Channel 2 News.
David, thank you. And we know that this is certainly impacting roadways all across the area. Right now, we have Traffic Tracker 2's Lance Mellon keeping a close eye on the roadways for us.
So, Lance, what are you seeing on your radar right now?
Hey, Mary Allison, Scott. So yeah, normally brake lights at the inspection plazas bring sighs of frustration and impatience, but today, really sighs of relief. It's just good that people are able to cross before the holidays. So behind me is the Peace Bridge. Getting into Canada, maybe a 5 to 10 minute delay, really not too bad at all. That was the first crossing to open. The Lewiston-Queenston opened shortly after. We're seeing very minimal delays here getting into Canada. So more of a sense of normalcy, at least at 2 border crossings. I think a lot of folks actually changed plans or maybe are planning to travel tomorrow because these wait times are very minimal the day before Thanksgiving. And just a quick look at the blockade still in place before the Rainbow Bridge. A good idea to avoid this area of downtown Niagara Falls for now, if you can, until further notice. Scott and Mary Alice will send it back over to you.
All right, Lance, thanks very much. Our Rob Hackford is at the U.S. Attorney's Office in downtown Buffalo. They held a news conference just a short time ago. Rob?
Yeah, Scott and Mary Ellis, that briefing from the U.S. Attorney's Office, the FBI, as well as various other law enforcement, federal law enforcement agencies, was brief. And it really boiled down to one line that we heard from Trini Ross right at the beginning of it. It said at this time they believe this is not terrorism, that this was a crash, something else, and they are still investigating it. They do have new video that we got from Customs and Border Protection, a camera that they have located there of that vehicle going airborne, speeding first, going airborne. You'll see it at the top of your screen here if that video is playing. It crashes. There's a fire. There's other damage caused at that booth. There was a CBP officer that was injured. We asked what update was on that CBP officer. They've not been identified at that time, and there was limited information provided there. They also confirmed that 2 individuals were killed in this incident. We asked the FBI about how they were able to determine whether this was not terrorism, that this was just a car crash near the Rainbow Bridge. Take a listen to their response.
Yes, we can confirm it come from the U.S. side. We'll also say that we have a subject in mind. We're fully running him down to find out who he is. As the U.S. Attorney said, right now we have no indications of a threat of terrorism from it. The investigation continues. We're still doing notifications for family members, but we do have someone in mind for it, and we're working through it through the JTTF.
Yeah, the FBI added there that they were combing social media for the individuals they believe were involved. No one has been identified in this incident so far. There was also no existing derogatory information or other details that they were able to find on the individuals that they are looking into as this investigation really begins unfolding as they continue to look at this. But again, according to federal authorities, this is not terrorism. It was a crash at the Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls, but they will continue to investigate, and they want people at home really to feel safe as they head into this Thanksgiving holiday. Reporting live outside FBI headquarters in Buffalo, Rob Hackford on your side, Channel 2 News.
All right, Rob, thanks very much. Obviously, law enforcement all on the same page as they all went about their separate investigations to try and figure out, probably based on the VIN number of what was left of the car after this crash, that it was someone that they do not suspect of any terrorism.
Exactly. And now Channel 2's Keelan Berrien is live at the Buffalo Niagara Airport with an update.
Yeah, Scott and Mary Alice, you know, things are just kind of basically back to business as normal. Just behind me here is the TSA TSA check line, I want to say rather, and it's very clear right now. We have a few travelers that is in the line waiting to get through those gates, but they will be there in no time. And like we said before, this could not happen on any worse day than before. It's the day before Thanksgiving. Buffalo Niagara International Airport is already seeing a lot of its travelers leaving and coming and going for the Thanksgiving holiday. But we also spoke with the NFTA spokesperson, Kelly Khatib, and she says the sweep for the explosive materials will continue tonight and throughout the weekend. About 2 hours ago, around 3-4 o'clock today, we were just outside showing you all how NFTA was doing those thorough, clean sweeps with their bomb-sniffing dogs. But it moved inside to here where we at now inside the airport. But here, you can listen to Kelly and hear what she has to say for yourself.
Whenever we have something of that nature, when it comes to something that's happening at the border, especially seeing as things unfolded, when you have a car exploding and you're still trying to get facts and you're still trying to get everything, we will immediately, just in extreme precaution, make sure we put all those security measures in place, because we have, you know, hundreds of thousands of people who travel for here, and their safety is our #1 priority.
Right, so that was just Kelly Khatib, spokesperson for NFTA that you just heard. Once again, this is a federal building, so you know they have to take extreme precautions for everything that's going on around here. But once again, that TSA line is clear right now. We do have a couple travelers entering the line right now, but like I said, they will go through those things very quickly. But it is still encouraged to still arrive to your flight 3 to 3.5 hours before. That's what Kelly Khatib has told us. But if and when we learn any more information along the way, we will update you. Scott and Mary Alice, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, Keelan, thank you very much. We're going to show everyone a live look right now at the Rainbow Bridge where this terribly tragic accident happened today. Obviously, it's closed right now as the investigation and the evidence gathering continues. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with more information on Channel 2 News at 6. Stay with us.